Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. I'm your host, the Fellow KGB. You can follow me on Twitter at the Fellow KGB. And tonight, it's our Thursday night hangout. Again, this is going to be Thursday nights are kind of the loose night where I have no agenda. We're just going to be talking hoops. We're going to be answering questions from the chat room. We got Aiden hanging out already. We got Oscar in the chat room. What's up, Justin, as well? How's it going, guys? Hope you guys are having a good Thursday afternoon. We have a kind of a soft schedule for tonight with the NBA. We got 4 games. We got Portland at Houston tipping off at some point in the next half hour. We got the Lakers, the Pistons, Clippers, and the Heat, the Warriors, and Phoenix. So a good group of games tonight for sure. Definitely looking forward, I think, to tomorrow night's big Friday reveal here. So Aiden's starting things off right away. So we got offered Bam Adebayo for Kawhi Leonard. I'm not sure how your centers look, but Bam missed how many games here? Let me just double check. Bam missed a few games not too long ago. I don't think that's bothering him, but it's kind of interesting. The thing with Bam is, he's not going to miss, the back-to-backs like Kawhi is. So if that's kind of annoying to you, like I took Kawhi Leonard off my board. Let me get the screen share up here. I'm just looking at the numbers real quick. I almost forgot to do the screen share. So you got Bam Adebayo. The thing is, we know Kawhi is going to miss a game every now and then. With Bam, he still kind of has, some injury concerns. He did miss 3 games earlier this month. But I think for the most part, man, it looks like a solid option here to get Bam for Kawhi. But I think I'm holding on to Kawhi. Kawhi at the small forward position, he might be a little bit more valuable. I know he's out. Let me see here. He's in the COVID protocol. So I guess we don't know how long he's going to be out for. So maybe if you want to just do it for the week, go ahead and do that. Go get Bam Adebayo. What's going on, Sam? Thanks for the subscription, man. I really appreciate that. We're trying to get to 200 here, hopefully by the next week or so. So that would be a nice milestone to hit. But thanks for subscribing. Any questions in the chat room? Fire them up there, sir. I think I would take it. Kawhi's going to be out for probably a week. I know it's kind of a short-term situation for Kawhi. He might be out 7 to 10 days. But I don't mind it. The other thing, too, is Kawhi, again, he's going to miss, second nights of a back-to-back. So I think I'm interested in Bam Adebayo there. You also got Ayton, which is nice, and Collins. So, man, you're going to have some quite a bit of force there at the center position. I guess, Aiden, I would want to be curious what are your options, on your team for small forward, power forward? Do you have a good depth at that position? Maybe that would make me lean one way or the other here. We're saying go Blazers tonight. Let's see. So Justin's going with the fun topic right away of start, bench, and cut. I think that's DeLon Wright, J. Michael Green, and Josh Richardson. At the moment, I don't know if you guys saw, but I put DeLon Wright on the thumbnail of the video tonight. DeLon Wright's been catching my eye. He's been starting for the Pistons. He's playing tonight as well against a tough opponent in the Lakers. So we'll see how he does. But the man's been on a really good run lately. I don't think we can cut or bench DeLon Wright. I think at the moment right now he's locked into some good minutes. I love that he fills out the entire stat sheet here. You get the steals, he even gets blocks. So for a point guard, shooting guard, that's pretty valuable too. So he gets the 3-pointers with the steals and the blocks. I think I'm keeping and starting DeLon Wright for sure. And then when it comes to J. Michael Green and Josh Richardson, I haven't checked in on Josh Richardson in a while. The other thing is Dorian Finney-Smith is back, so that might limit what he can do. And Richardson's missed a lot of time, so I don't know if I value him that much. Whereas J. Michael Green, he's been an interesting guy because even though he doesn't get a lot of minutes, he's been pretty productive in those minutes. You see 2 really nice games back-to-back, 32 and 34. Again, he's going to somewhere settle in this 21 minutes per game average, 12.8 points in the last 7 days. I think I'm going to go with start DeLon Wright. We're going to bench JaMychal Green, and we're going to cut Josh Richardson. I think you can probably get someone else on the waiver wire that should equal kind of, do what he's doing there for you. But let's see what else we got here. So we just picked up Brandon Clark off waivers and how Cam Johnson. Oh, interesting. We talked about Cam Johnson the other night here. I'm going to start with Brandon Clark. Hopefully that whole Memphis Grizzlies situation, this is hopefully the last few days of their hiatus here. Grizzlies are not playing tomorrow night either, so just hold strong. I think this is a really good move. He's only 61% owned, so there's an option where if he's cut in your league, I'm totally holding on to him. I know we have Jaren Jackson Jr. coming back at some point. But man, at the moment, he's been a productive player, and they're probably going to slowly ramp Jaren Jackson up anyway. So I really like the snag of Brandon Clark. That's a really good move, I think, there. And then with Cameron Johnson, we talked about, I'm trying to think, is that home or away here tonight? It's in Phoenix, Golden State at Phoenix. I think this game could be a nice high-scoring back-and-forth game. I wouldn't expect like a huge game from him. Like, it's kind of hard, hit or miss. 8 points, 19, 5, 8. But I'm just looking for him to kind of be consistent in the assists, steals, and the rebounds. So I'm not going to say a crazy game. I would hope with his average, hopefully you get to 20. I think that's pretty reasonable. I'm trying to think. I wonder if Kelly Oubre is going to be on him for the most part. That could struggle with the shot there. But I like Cameron Johnson. We talked about him a little bit the other night. He's only 15.1% rostered, so he was kind of on the waiver wire options that we got there. So Cam Johnson, I like him quite a bit. And yeah, I'm thinking. I think I'm taking Bam. I have Bam. Got offered Kawhi. No, I'm gonna stick with Bam. I'm pretty sure I feel good about that. Don't want to mess with Kawhi's COVID and just the missing the back-to-backs that could come back to haunt us, especially. So here's the thing with those back-to-backs, I'm getting nervous because we don't know the schedule for the second half of the season after the All-Star break. But man, it just seems like there's going to be a lot of games that need to be made up at that point. So there should be a lot of back-to-backs, right? So guys like Kawhi make me a little bit nervous. I think I'm going to roll with Bam there. So Sam's asking, should I trade LeBron for Harden in a points league? That one's tough. For me, this is kind of a preference choice. If you're a bigger Harden fan than LeBron James, I would say go for it. But I'm going to keep LeBron James, potentially the MVP. We talked about him a lot on Tuesday night. Our friend of the show, John Heffernan, put a futures bet on LeBron to win the MVP 2 weeks ago, and that's looking pretty good. So I think I'm going to stick with LeBron James. He's averaging 45 points on the year in this scoring format. And let's just take a peek at Harden. As good as Harden's playing, a little bit more, 47.5. So I think it's totally fine to do it. These are both top 5 players in fantasy basketball at the moment right now. So if you're a big Harden fan, you want to get a piece of the Brooklyn Nets, I think you can go for it. But personally, I'm going to hold on to LeBron James there. So you got offered, you got offered Kawhi and Wiseman, Aiden. Is that what happened here? I'm not sure what's up with the and Wiseman. So Sam's saying to go get Kawhi. I think so. Here's the deal, Aiden. If you are a team that's if you're 4-1, if you're looking good, you don't need to worry about the next week. Then I would say go ahead and go get Kawhi. But if you're a team that's only got 1 or 2 wins on the season, you probably got to hold and try to keep tacking on those wins. I think that's going to help me make my decision. Yeah, Sam likes Kawhi quite a bit here. So he's got Kevin Durant and Collins at power forward. And yeah, Kawhi actually had a really nice game, I think, before he left. So I'm not sure. He's out Thursday tonight with the COVID protocols. Hopefully back soon. It looks like the 24th was his last game. I don't know when he went on the protocols here. Let me see. So it looks like the 25th. The 25th was his last day. So that's going to put us probably out for maybe the end of next week. We can maybe see him back next Thursday or Friday, hopefully. So if okay, so Aiden says he's 4-1 down here. In that case, go get Kawhi. You have the ability to maybe lose a week or so and still be fine. Go get Kawhi Leonard. The points make a lot of sense for me. He actually hasn't missed that many back-to-backs. Looks like they haven't had many back-to-backs. Just a couple here. So okay, we're gonna go get Kawhi Leonard there. And yeah, Sam's all in the Kawhi there. And yeah, you can also flip Kawhi Leonard for a lot more after he has like a big game or something. So that's a pretty good idea. Norman Powell or Bogdanovich on the Jazz or Green, pick up one. So Norman Powell's been playing really good. Let's just take a look at his numbers real quick. I don't know what's up with OG Anunoby, but he missed last night's game against the Bucks. But all of a sudden, Norman Powell has been putting up some numbers. So I think this is going to be one of my favorite. He was on the thumbnail again. He's been playing really good ball, only 27.3% owned. I would go pick up Norman Powell if you can, especially if you need shooting guards or small forwards. 2 back-to-back 40-point games. Look at the minutes, too. 41, 40, 37, 32. So he's, look at this is one way I like to look at players who are hot. You look at their season stats compared to their last 7 days, and Norman Powell is up in every category except blocks. So we're not expecting a lot of blocks from him, but I do like Norman Powell quite a bit. Let me look at the Bogdanovich situation. So the Jazz here, we got Bojan. No, give me Norman Powell over Bojan. And then who's that last one there? Green, J. Michael Green. Yeah, I'm going with Norman Powell for sure in this one there, Justin. So this is a good one because it sounds like Jaren, he's been questionable this week, even though we know they're not going to play. But they're making it sound like he's believed to be very close to making his season debut. So maybe sometime next week at best. We kind of have to keep watching his injury reports here. But like the fact that they've been speculating that he won't play, like he's been ruled out. They're starting to get more information on him, and it sounds like maybe next week. So he's pretty highly owned. I think you got to be patient with him when he comes back. He's not just going to step on the court for 30 plus minutes a game. So it's going to be a slow roll with Jaren Jackson. So hopefully in a week or so, we got CJ and yes. So if you can afford to hold on to him, I think that's worth an offer there. So Oscar sent Beal and Gordon Hayward for Giannis. Bradley Beal. I just want to see Bradley Beal's last few games since he's been back. So 69, 41, and 40. Again, I mean, the dude is going to probably lead the league in scoring this year. I love what he can do. This is probably another preference choice because you're getting Gordon Hayward, so a 2-for-1 is pretty, or you're sending a 2-for-1 for Giannis. But if your team is stacked, I'm going to go ahead and go get Giannis because why not? He's just going to fill out everything, and I think his floor is a little bit higher. You see these 58s, these 64s. I would do it. It really depends, Oscar, if you have the depth there to replace a guy like Hayward. Otherwise, actually, you're probably going to plug Giannis into Hayward's spot. So if you have more shooting guards or shooting forwards, definitely do it. And then go look and see if Norman Powell is available, because essentially you could have Giannis and Norman Powell. That makes it look a lot better. So definitely, I think I'm going to cash this in, go get Giannis, probably the #1 pick. I think that's a pretty easy spot to go get that. So Aiden's doing start, bench, cut, Isaac Okoro, Duncan Robinson, and Royce O'Neal. Let me see how Duncan's been doing lately. I haven't checked on him in a couple days. So I don't really like the consistency here. It seems like I like the consistency with the rebounds and the assists. 1 to 3 a game here is nice. The floor is decent. He's averaging about 21.2 on the season. He's going to get a lot of minutes too. So I like that he's active. Let's see what Mr. Okoro, and Okoro is still kind of figuring things out. He's also getting a ton of minutes, but it looks like he's kind of peaking here at the moment right now. Still hasn't really found his stride as a consistent scorer, but he's getting some other stats here. I like the steals. The activity in the steals is impressive as well. So Okoro and Duncan, and then we got Royce O'Neal. This one's tough. I'm probably gonna go with Royce, just because he's a veteran. I think I trust him a little bit more on a bad night. This 15, 17, 14, that seems doable. He also has the potential to take over a game and get some big points there. So I'm probably going to rank them as start Royce. I think I'm going to bench Okoro. I like Okoro, and then we're going to let Duncan Robinson go, I think. Another one of my centers I have on my roster. Yeah, we just looked at that. I don't think Kawhi has probably not missed a back-to-back yet this season. So I think we're all in the same boat. Aiden, if you can go get Kawhi and you have a 4-1 team, I think we're all gonna say go get Kawhi Leonard here. Go get yourself a cash in your Bam Adebayo. Thank you for your services. The made-up games won't be counted. They will end the season halfway through, make up the games, and continue with the season. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know when they're going to release that second half schedule, but I think they're scheduled all the way through maybe March. I can't remember. Let me just click on a random team here and see what they got for the schedule here. I'm hoping they release this soon, but they got games scheduled all the way through Thursday, March 4th. So we'll see. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll see what happens with the schedule. Let me see. So Dame Lillard, Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Durant. Why can't I see that? DeAndre Ayton, James Harden, Curry, and Fox can hold it down. Yeah, man. If that's who you got, I'm liking what you got. Although Donovan Mitchell, I think he's in concussion protocol right now, so hopefully he plays quickly here. Let me see what else we got. Hopefully ESPN stops the fantasy games for the redos and continue. Wouldn't it be unfair if the week's counted for just players? Yeah, and I don't really know how they're gonna they can maybe tack on 1 game extra per week if a team's looking light, or maybe they just make I don't know. Maybe they make like a weekend of it and they just knock out a bunch of games, something like that. We'll see what happens. But super interested. The teams that have missed a lot of the games here, I think Washington for sure, Memphis. Let me see who else we got here that's kind of weak on games. The East has been actually pretty decent as far as games, but yeah, it's looking like the Memphis Grizzlies only 13 games played on the season so far. Where's the other one? The Rockets, are kind of lagging too. The Rockets have quite a bit to make up. The Kings also have some to make up. The Pelicans as well. A lot of teams with 13 to 16 games here. So it looks like all these Western Conference teams have a lot to make up down here at the bottom. So I don't know. It's going to be fun to watch and see what they do with all these. Do you think Mitchell or Nance will play? Is that tonight there, Justin? Mitchell or Nance? Donovan Mitchell. I thought I saw he was still questionable this morning. But now that we're a little bit closer, I'm trying to see what times tip off. So he plays tomorrow. It says he's questionable. He missed last night's game. It's 50-50 at the moment. I think they can afford to be without him. And who do they play next? I think it really depends on who they play next. They play Dallas again on a back-to-back. 50-50 for that. Let's take a look at Nance real quick. So it says he's still questionable here. I just want to see who he plays next game here. They play New York. So again, they have a lot of depth there. It also sounded like Kevin Love might be back too. So maybe they rest Larry Nance. I think that's going to be a wait and see approach going on there. So Aiden got offered Kevin Durant for the Greek Freak. I don't know. I don't want to accept, but if I definitely win the trade, I will accept. Kevin Durant for Giannis. Man, you guys have some banging trades. Like the two leagues that I play in, there hasn't been a single trade all season. So I'm just kind of bummed out I don't get in some of these big trades. So Kevin Durant, what do we do with his 49.8 fantasy points per game versus Giannis? This is purely a points per game. Like they're basically dead even. So this is a preference call, I think. Again, when you're trading like top 5 players like this, I don't really think it matters that much whether they're a point or two different. I'm probably going to go with Giannis in this one though. But if you want to hold KD, I'm not gonna. Yeah, again, Sam. Yeah, it's just a preference call with that one there. I mean, two of the best players in the game. So Oscar got offered Kevin Durant for Spida and Paul George. Okay. Are we sending Kevin Durant for Donovan Mitchell and Paul George? You got offered. So you're someone's trying to send you Kevin Durant. Oscar, I'd be curious to see what the rest of your team looks like. Like, do you need the extra depth, or otherwise, if you're not hurting, I think I'm gonna stick with it. Paul George averaging almost 39 points per game. You also have Mitchell's been kind of hot and cold this year. He hasn't really played up to his ability. So essentially, you're plugging in 35 and 38 fantasy points per game for Kevin Durant. For me, I'm probably gonna hold on to Kevin Durant. I prefer to keep my studs like that. So start bench cut. Alec Burks, I believe, is at Shake Milton and D Rose. Let's take a look. Alec Burks, I don't know if he's playing tomorrow, but he's been playing pretty well. He's been consistent in the minutes. He's one of their better scorers, and I like that he kind of fills out everything here. This is the guy that should be owned. He's less than 36% owned in this league that I'm playing in right now. And 27 fantasy points per game. I don't have a problem with it. Reggie Bullock is hurt. I kind of like Alec Burks at the moment right now. Let me see what else we got here. Shaky Milton. And Milton, he started off the season pretty hot, but all of a sudden he's been kind of lowered with his numbers. So I'm not as high on Shake Milton as I was a couple of weeks ago. And then Derrick Rose. We kind of talked a little bit about DeLon Wright at the top of the show. DeLon Wright's been filling in really well here, and I think he's going to hold on to the starting job. And Rose has never been a guy that's going to get more than 30 minutes. So I think I'm going to rank them as start Alec Burks. We'll bench Derrick Rose, and we'll let Shake Milton go. So Sam traded Kevin Durant and Jamal Murray for LeBron and SGA. I like that one. Again, like you're trading studs, KD and LeBron, but I think I'm going to take SGA over Jamal Murray right now. Murray's been one of those guys. My buddy Drake sent me a trade list, candidate list for potential buy low guys. And Jamal Murray's on the list. Donovan Mitchell's on the list. These are guys that haven't really hit their stride yet. So I think you did a good swap there. Give me LeBron and SGA. And we also traded DeRozan and Tobias for Giannis. Okay, you did pretty well in that one. Basically two kind of like C-listers, I think, in NBA and fantasy, and you ended up getting top 5, top 3 player there. Let's see here. What's going on, Rudolphs? Thank you for hanging out tonight, man. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Aiden's asking, you think I can get Christian Wood for pick 2 of Wiseman, Garland, Eric Gordon, and Montrezl? Do you think I can get Christian Wood? Let's see. Eric Gordon's been pretty hot lately. I think if you basically Aiden, you're gonna have to go to your guy and ask him, who do you like of these 4? Let him choose. I think like a package of Montrezl Harrell and Eric Gordon might get it done. I mean, if he's a fan of Wiseman, who had a good game the other night, and Garland, I think you got enough to work. If you just let him pick 2, he's probably gonna want to get Montrezl or Wiseman to replace the big man of Christian Wood. But that's going to be close. Like if he needs depth, I think that's worth a shot. So definitely have a conversation with him. So Rudolphs has one quick question. ESPN default point system. Jokic, Shai, Halliburton for Davis, LeBron, Donovan Mitchell. Good deal. Whoa. So you're getting Anthony Davis, LeBron, and Donovan Mitchell for Jokic, SGA, and Halliburton. That one's close because we definitely like SGA. We like Jokic. Halliburton's been, again, he's a rookie. He's going to have bright moments, but he hasn't really been playing like a must-start player. Again, like a 39's nice, but these 11, 12s and these 13s. I might take this deal, guys. I might take Anthony Davis. Here's the math for us. I'm just going to click on. Why don't we do this? We're going to click on compare players. Let's just get everybody on the list here. So Anthony Davis, we'll include Davis. We'll include LeBron. I like LeBron's 3-position eligibility. If you watch my stuff, you know I'm a big guy in flexibility with my lineups. I should have put Donovan Mitchell there next. Donovan Mitchell. Let's see here. We got Halliburton, and then we got the Jokic. This one's tough because you're trading some heavy boomers at this one there, Mr. Rudolphs. Okay, so just quickly looking at this, Jokic, of course. Let me just filter on the 21 season. So Jokic averaging 55 points. That's a 10-point drop off for LeBron James. So Jokic is averaging 55. Halliburton about 25. We'll give that a total of. That's about 81 points, and then you're going to add on SGA to that. So we'll call that almost 120 points between those 2 guys. Now with Davis and LeBron James, that's 90 points right there, and then you're going to pack on Mitchell. So that puts it at about 125. So this is actually really close for a deal here. Obviously, the worst player is Tyrese Halliburton, so you're upping your floors definitely. Essentially, you're trading Halliburton for Donovan Mitchell, which I think a lot of people would do. So I think it's really close here. If you're a Laker fan, go do it. Otherwise, I think if you want to move Jokic, you could maybe go ask the guy whoever's got Giannis or something like that. But I'm gonna have a hard time, I think, trading Jokic in a 1-for-1. But with this 3-team package, again, just doing the math real quick, you got 55 out of Jokic. Add the 25 from Halliburton, that's going to put you at 80, and then you add the 40 here. That's 120 between those 3 players per game, and then you're going to be getting 125. So technically, the value is better with Davis, James, and Mitchell. So it's really close. I think I'm going to do it though. I'm going to go for Davis, LeBron, and Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell's one of the buy low candidates of the trade window. So I think I'm going to do it. Let's see here. It's a lot. Trades are a lot of preference. If you have a team, if the Lakers are your team, go ahead and do it. If you're a big SGA guy and you also like Jokic, then hold on to your guys. But I do think, you're giving up Jokic, but you're also getting Davis and LeBron James. Those guys are going to pull some weight for you. And just the way LeBron's been playing lately, he's actually been probably playing better than his average. You sprinkle in this 72, this 55. I think he's just going to continue to go up from here. So I kind of like the deal. So we're doing start, bench, cut, Reddish, Bagley, and Carmelo Anthony. So Anthony's actually been getting some good run lately. I like what I'm going to clear all players here. So Carmelo Anthony, with the injury to CJ McCollum, we know he missed a little bit here, but he's actually been playing. He's gotten his minutes back up, and the scoring's up, the rebounding's up. He's also, blocking steals. He's actually like a really consistent stat performer for us too. So I do like Carmelo Anthony. We're gonna probably keep him around. Let's see what Marvin Bagley's doing. So Bagley, the thing about Bagley is I know he's going to be consistent, and like with Carmelo, his numbers could go down when McCollum comes back, and there's some more health back there for Portland. So I kind of think we got to keep on to Marvin Bagley, and then let's just see what Cam Reddish. I think Reddish is hurt right now. Yeah, we played last night though, so he's been back. He's a very core piece to what they're doing over there, but I think we can let Reddish go. So we're gonna cut Reddish, and then it's really between Bagley and Carmelo. I'm gonna keep Bagley just because I see him having long-term value with Carmelo. I think I can hold on to Carmelo, just bench him there. What's going on, Calvin? Thanks for hanging out tonight, man. We just picked up Norman Powell. Yeah, man, Norman Powell is on a quest right now. And especially because Siakam was injured and also OG Anunoby missed last night, that's been opening up. You see the 41 and the 40 minutes and the 37. That's a lot of this is because Siakam was out. Siakam's back. So I think it's going to be foolish to expect him to continue hitting these 40s, but I do think he could settle in somewhere around these 30 points. A bad game from him might look like 24 points going forward. So Norman Powell, guys, he's the way that I play fantasy basketball is I prefer to build through free agency. So if I can go pick up a guy that's getting 30 to 40 points, that's at this moment, that's the equivalent of picking up a Jamal Murray or even a Donovan Mitchell, a guy who's basically averaging 35 fantasy points in the last 4 games here. I know there's been some injuries, but you can really help yourself out with getting some big pieces through the waiver wire. So Oscar's asking, should we send Vucevic for KD, for Vucevic and KD for Giannis? No, I'm keeping my big guy in Kevin Durant. I think in that situation, Nikola has been playing really good here. Let me just look at Vucevic here. He's averaging 46 points. You'd be giving up almost 90 points just to go get Giannis. I'm going to hold on to your 2 studs here. He's playing fantastic, so I think we're going to hold on to those 2 guys, and we'll let Giannis be. Let me see here. So I have Montrez. You told me to trade Smart and Kemba for Fox. I misclicked. Oh, no. Oh, interesting. Okay, we'll see. Yeah, we're gonna keep Vucevic and KD. Who got the trade? 10 teams. Hey, what's going on, Hui Kong? How you doing, man? You're kicking our ass in that. I'm just gonna pull up the free league here. So I do run a free league with some people here on YouTube. I invited some people from Twitter, and I think he's still kicking everyone's ass. So he's chilling here. He's 3rd in the league. He had a couple slides. So Team Kobe at 3-2. What's going on, man? Hope you're doing well tonight. Let me just take a peek here at your question. 10-team points league. Bobby Portis, LeBron James, Lauri Markkanen, Gordon Hayward for John Collins, Giannis, Kelvin Johnson, and Jarrett Allen. I'm taking the Collins, Giannis, Keldon, Allen side. I feel pretty good about that. Bobby Portis is nice, but he's kind of inconsistent with his minutes, and I feel like the same thing with Markkanen. Let me just pull this up real quick. I haven't checked out Lauri in a while, so he's only averaging like just under 30 points. He's fine. He's consistent, but I think you can almost get that with Keldon Johnson. Let's see how Keldon's been playing. So Keldon's averaging the same amount of fantasy points per game. So I see those 2 guys as kind of equal. And then with Jarrett Allen, I think there's going to be some trades going on in Cleveland to get some of these big guys cleared out. So Allen's probably the least valuable guy right now, but I think he's worth holding on to. But essentially, you're getting Collins and Giannis. I think I'd take those 2 guys over James and Hayward. So I'm going to go with the Collins, Giannis, Keldon, and Jarrett Allen side. Let's see what else we got going on here. Oscar KD equals, yeah, they're pretty similar. So yeah, you got to keep on Vucevic shouldn't go nowhere. I prefer keeping up my studs there for sure, guys. Let me see what else we got going on here. What would you do for Kemba and Allen? Are you Justin? You're trying to acquire Kemba Walker and Jared Allen, or what would what do I do if I'm holding on to those guys? Because Kemba's back, but it seems like he's going to be on a minutes restriction going forward. He only had 17 fantasy points last night. Not sure that might just be kind of a blip in the radar here, but I'm going to hold on to Kemba. I mean, you drafted him probably pretty cheap. The value's pretty nice. If you can flip him, like I would shoot, aim for a guy that's averaging, a little over 30 fantasy points. Kemba's points are going to get up a little bit here. So I'm cool with moving Kemba Walker. I think you gotta probably wait for I would wait for a really big game from Kemba, and then you move him at the highest value. And then with Jared Allen, it's kind of the same thing. I think Kevin Love's coming back soon too, so this might really mess things up. Maybe the time is now to move Jared Allen. He hasn't really been playing the greatest the last couple games here, but again, 26, 23, 42, all with the new team. That's kind of interesting. I mean, as long as you can even take a loss here, you could get a guy that's averaging like around or the same points here. So definitely try to move him. But with Kemba, I'm going to hold Kemba until he has a really big game, and then you can move Kemba. So start, bench, cut. TJ McConnell, Tyus Jones, and Kyle Anderson. So we got 2 Memphis Grizzlies on that one. So with McConnell's been just scrappy. He's been filling out the stats the last few games here. So he's kind of the backup point guard for Brogdon. I like that his minutes are up. He's not a big scorer, but you see the assists: 9, 9, 7, 6, 6, 6. Then the steals: 2, 2, 3, 2, 2. He's gonna get a block every now and then, it looks like, but he's probably a better categories player than he is straight up points player. So I'm kind of interested in McConnell, but I don't see him as necessarily a guy that I want to keep around. Let me see and Tyus Jones is kind of the same thing. He's the backup. So we're looking at backup point guards here. And they haven't played in a while, but in the 2 games with John Morant, he settled into the backup number 2 role here at almost 25 points and about 19 points. So I do like that. And then I think Kyle Anderson is probably the keeper. Jaren Jackson could keep things a little foggy in the future, but it's going to take a little while for him to ramp up. So I'm going to start Kyle Anderson when he comes back. And then McConnell, Tyus Jones, I kind of see those guys as similar. Give me McConnell just because I like the guaranteed assist there. Should we send Trey and Wood for Curry? No, I'm keeping Trey and Wood for sure. Hey, thank you, Rudolphs. I appreciate the subscription. I did it yesterday, and awesome. Yeah, and you're abroad at AD. Okay, yeah, man, I'm glad you. That's cool. You kind of tricked us. Yeah, it seemed like that was something that wasn't sealed and dealed yet. But yeah, man, I think just looking at it from a fantasy points per game average, you're essentially boosting yourself by 5 or so points. I think basically LeBron and AD, I think their averages are just going to go up from here as they play more games. So I think that's a really good move for you there, Rudolphs. And again, thank you for the subscription. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, thumbs up. That lets the YouTube algorithms know this was a good live stream. So I appreciate that very much. So Curry's good, but man, you got to keep Trae Young. You got to keep Christian Wood. That just the points per game value for that trade would be nuts. So yeah, Aiden knows what's up. I'm doing great, Hukong. I hope you're doing well, just as good tonight. I'm trying to think. If there's, we're going on about 34 minutes here. You guys keep firing up the questions. Thursday night's the night where we just I don't have an agenda. We're just going to chill out and just answer questions and kind of get to the bottom of things. So I hope everyone's having a great evening. Looking forward to the weekend. We got now that football is kind of dying down, we're going to just be looking at basketball a lot more closely now. But yeah, man, I think we got to keep Trae Young and Christian Wood for Curry. Even that's more of a name value thing, but to me, Curry equals Trae Young. If we just look at these numbers real quick, let me just filter by averages here. And I'm having to scroll down. So Christian Wood up here, Christian Wood, man, he's averaging 43.6 points on the season, and Steph Curry's under him. He's at 42.8. Let me just look for Trae Young. Trae Young's at 41. So yeah, you might be able to get Curry just for Trae Young straight up. So if you want Curry, you could essentially just do a 1-for-1 deal there. Looks like the Blazer game's tipping off now. Let's see, trade targets. You got trade targets for your 20-man league. Is that what you want to talk about? Okay, we could do that. I'm just gonna filter. We're gonna filter by the last 7 days, and we're gonna see who's really hot. So we're going really deep. Our guy Aiden, he plays in a 20-man league here. I'm not sure how deep. I think it's 13 or 14-man roster sizes. So what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna filter by percent rostered, and we're gonna go deep here. We're just gonna go real deep, see what we can do. So we're talking under. I'll be under a couple percent here. And we're going to filter, let's see here. We're just kind of looking for minutes here. Sadiq Bey. This is a guy that's been playing more minutes lately. Actually, less minutes. Never mind. Let me see. This is tough. Let's see here. Anyone else that sticks out? Shabazz Napier's on the list. My guy, I don't know if you checked in with Pat Connaughton, but a couple of weeks ago we told you to check out Pat Connaughton. He didn't have the greatest game last night, 14 minutes, but he's been playing pretty good. He's under 1% owned there too, Aiden. So Pat Connaughton is a guy that's probably going to get you double digits when he plays. I don't know what happened. He just couldn't hit the basket last night. But definitely check out Pat Connaughton if you can get him. He might be really cheap to acquire. I'll go one more page real quick. I'm just looking around for fantasy points here. Well, what is this? Alexej Pokusevski putting up some points and some minutes here. He's 0.7% owned. I don't know what's going on here, but I like the look at the blocks. This is a guy here, only 0.7% owned. Definitely go check out him. I'm sure he's scooped up already. But I'm just kind of looking down the list. Kevon Looney, you could probably get Kevon Looney pretty short here. I know he's the backup to James Wiseman, but when he plays, he's going to get double digits. So I do think that's pretty good option there too. And then Raul Neto, he's actually the backup point guard here. When he plays, he gets a lot of good minutes too. He's averaging about 21 minutes in those 2 games. He's going to fill out kind of all the stats here for you. So he's an interesting guy to keep a name on. Michael Carter-Williams is going to be coming back. It sounds like he's out Friday, but he might be playing Sunday. So keep an eye on Michael Carter-Williams. He's going to be the backup point guard for Cole Anthony. He might be worth a speculative add here. What's going on with Tony Bradley, man? He had one massive game the other day. I don't know if that's something worth repeating here, but dang, 26.25 against the Pistons. Let me see. We got one more name here. Jordan McLaughlin for Minnesota. Goga Badatst. This guy played a lot the other night. Not a lot, but he filled out the column here. I noticed that when he plays, when he gets minutes, he's a good player. So I don't know if they're going to keep giving him the ball, but keep an eye on him. He's played 3 games. He's averaging 16 fantasy points there. So I hope that helps a little bit. Just some guys to keep an eye on. I get Buddy Hield, and I'm assuming that's Mitch Robinson, and getting rid of Kemba and Allen. Nick Van Attitude. It is Mitch Robinson. So you would get Buddy Hield and Mitch Robinson for Kemba and Jarrett Allen. You might have to throw him one more piece. I don't know if you can find someone else to get to tip over there. But definitely, I mean, that to me, that's a good deal on paper. It shouldn't be that crazy there. What are your plans with this channel? With this channel, we're kind of just, I do live streams for basketball on Tuesday and Thursday night. That's on Tuesdays, we kind of hang out, and I have my friends John and Drake. We just come and have a conversation. We'll take questions from the chat room. Thursday nights are kind of my random. We just look at whatever. But then a couple nights a week, I do a video where I don't go live. I just post my waiver wires on Monday nights. I'm still going to put out some fantasy football content too. Now that I'm kind of getting locked into the 2021 draft. So I think the next month and a half, probably all spring leading up till April, we're going to keep doing fantasy basketball videos, probably 3 or 4 a week, and then maybe 1 or 2 football videos a week. So I just started this channel in, last May of 2020. So I try to do 6 videos a week. So that's kind of the goal. And at the moment right now, probably 4 basketball videos a week and we'll see what happens there. So thanks for the question, though, Rudolphs. So start bench cut, Yogi, Jared Vanderbilt, and I can't remember Garrison's first name, Garrison Matthews. Yes. So this is an interesting guy who kind of came out of nowhere, and he's been getting starter minutes here. He's a pretty good scorer. He also chips in with the steals. I like that quite a bit there. So this is a guy that I'm definitely keeping my eye on. But as the Wizards get healthier, we might see his minutes kind of go back down a little bit. So I definitely like checking out Matthews there. And Vanderbilt, the same thing too. We know Karl Anthony Towns is probably due back soon. So you might see some numbers decline here in the future. But I think at this moment right now, like when he plays, he's been playing really, really well. And again, he's been starting. I think that's his 5th or 6th straight start there. So I do like Vanderbilt. This is a tough list. And then with Yogi, I'm not sure how he's been doing with minutes. It's going to be a while, I think, for him to get on the court yet. He's actually waived by the Cavaliers on Wednesday. So we're going to rule Yogi out. I don't know where he's going to end up yet. Let's see here. So I guess it's between. I'm gonna start Vanderbilt for now while Karl Anthony Towns is out. We'll hold on to Garrison, and then we'll just wait and see where Yogi ends up. Let's see here. Start bench cut. Naz Reid, Robert Williams, and DeAndre Jordan. Let's see here. So same thing with Naz Reid. We know Karl Anthony Towns is probably due back within the next 5 to 6 days. DeAndre Jordan, I'm probably going to hold on to DeAndre Jordan. He's probably the one guy here that I don't question his value. I know the ceiling's not very high, but I value the consistency. He's on a good team. He's going to be productive when he's on the court. So I think I'm going to keep starting Mr. DeAndre Jordan. With Robert Williams, he's kind of the third guy over there for Boston. He's behind Tice. He's behind I can't remember the other guy there. Who's their other big guy? Why can't I think of his name right now? Tristan Thompson. So his minutes aren't going to be very high. He's very productive when he's on the court, though, but I just don't think we can trust it. He's only 5% owned for a reason here. So I think we're going to start DeAndre Jordan. We're going to hold on to Naz Reid at the bench, and then we're going to let Robert Williams go. So we got another trade question from Hui Kong here. Traded a week and a half ago. So looks like Jaylen Brown, Richaun Holmes for Karl Anthony Towns and Lauri Markkanen. Another deal. So let's just tackle this Jaylen Brown and Richaun Holmes for Towns and Lauri Markkanen. So I love Jaylen Brown quite a bit. It's really all about how Richaun Holmes keep playing, but man, he's been playing some really good ball lately. I don't think people realize how good Richaun Holmes is. Like, he's basically holding out Hassan Whiteside from being a big contributor over there. So he's playing really good ball. He's averaging 32 on the season, but in the last 7 days, he's averaging 41 points. So I really like that move there. And then with Jaylen Brown, like, we know what we're getting with Jaylen Brown. He's one of the best scorers, I think, in the league, averaging almost 42 fantasy points on the season so far. But again, in the last 7 days, he's up to 46. So boom, you just plugged in just with their last 7-day averages. If they're to keep those going, that's almost plugging in 85 points just on those two alone. With Towns and Markkanen, let me see what Towns' numbers were before. It might take him a little bit while to get his conditioning back up, missing so much time here. He's also been kind of injured and stuff. So, I think just looking at it like now, I think Jaylen Brown and Holmes won. That's producing more value for you at the moment right now. It might be a little bit while before Towns recovers and gets his conditioning back. So I'm going to go with Brown and Holmes. And then with that looks like DeAndre Hunter for Michael Porter Jr. Awesome. Why can't I get Hunter in there? There we go. Oh, there's an apostrophe in there. So with DeAndre Hunter, he's been one of the best surprises, I think, averaging a stout 30.5 fantasy points per game. In the last 7 days, though, he's averaging 36.6. So this is a really good young player. Now, the same thing can be said for Michael Porter Jr. He's just missed a lot of time so far this year. But he's been playing. He's been getting back into the fold of things. He put up a 30-point game, and he's going to be consistent in the steals, the rebounds. So this one's kind of a push, but I think more people are excited about Michael Porter Jr. So give me Porter Jr. I think he can be a guy that's his ceiling is yet to be found. So I think he's just going to heat up. So I like the Jaylen Brown Holmes side of that trade, and then I like the Michael Porter Jr. side of that other one. Let's see here. give up Trey and Smart. I'm confused. Do you think Capella is a sell high at like? It depends. If you can get Capella moved for a guy that's probably better than his position here. I mean, he's averaging 40.7 points on the season, but we just know that you look at this balloon here of 55, 53, 80, 69. A lot of this is because of his minutes, guys. He got 37 minutes, 39, 39, a 35, a 30. So he's been getting a lot more minutes lately than he did in the beginning of the year. But I don't think this is sustainable. But you just look down this number list here, the dude's been getting doubles for the last month. So I think it is sustainable. It's really these blocks that are going to be the biggest problem here. He's also been pretty nice in the steals. So as far as a sell high here, who would I rather have other than Capella? Let's just look strictly at the centers right now. I mean, of course, give me Jokic, give me Anthony Davis. Let me do this by season here. Filter. Okay, so he does rank pretty highly here. I think I'm going to take I'd rather have Sabonis. If you can get a guy like Christian Wood, now might be the time to do so. I think I might have Capella over Drummond. But I'm definitely taking any of these top 5 centers. If you can get a guy like Wood or Sabonis, I guess even Gobert at that point, I feel pretty comfortable with getting Wood, Sabonis, one of those two guys. So I do think it's a sell high. Yeah, and looks like Rudolph agrees with me on that one. Michael Porter Jr., he's definitely a potential buy low candidate right now as he's just getting his work back. I'm visiting in February for a house tour. Yeah, man, come on down. Dalton, how you doing, dude? Dalton, you got any good questions for us tonight? What are we looking at? I just want to quick check the scores. It looks like the Trailblazers are starting to go a little bit here. But we're hanging out. We got another 15 or so minutes going on here. So start bench cut. Kendrick Nunn. I'm assuming that's Wayne Ellington and Reggie Jackson. Oh, this is a good one because all 3 of these guys are actually playing some really good ball right now. So Kendrick Nunn. He's been, I think the last week or so, been playing really well. So yeah, you see the minutes. The minutes are back up. Definitely 36.3 minutes per game, 17 points, 3.3 boards, 2.8 assists, 1.8 steals. He's been filling it out. I think Tyler Hero's probably coming back pretty soon, so we might see some of these numbers dip just a little bit. But I think for starting right now, you got to get Kendrick Nunn in the lineup, right? And then with Reggie Jackson, the problem with Reggie Jackson is it's strictly because Patrick Beverley is not playing. That's why he ballooned the other night here for 39 minutes, 20 points, 7 boards, 8 assists. I think Reggie Jackson's worth starting probably as long as Patrick Beverley's out. They did say he's not on their away trip with them. So at least for the next maybe 4 or 5 days, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 games in that span. So I'm starting Reggie Jackson as long as Beverley's out. But I think I'm going with Nunn there. And then with Wayne Ellington, I do think Wayne Ellington has some staying power. So for me, I think we're gonna let Reggie go, and it's between keeping Nunn and Wayne. Now I might start Wayne because I just feel more comfortable with him on the floor. With Kendrick Nunn, we know Tyler Hero's coming back at some point. Reggie Jackson, we know Patrick Beverley's coming back. So I'm gonna say start Wayne Ellington, and then we'll hold on to Nunn. We'll let Reggie Jackson go. Yeah, so Rudolph's, this has been a thing that I think we kind of started it last week. It's kind of just a fun way to just throw out some names, especially if you guys are looking for, like, if you have your sights set in the free agency to pick up some players. Sometimes that helps me, figure out just thought processes of who's the best player for you guys to pick up there. So start, bench, cut. That's kind of a fun little new segment that we've been adding to the live shows here. So it is a fun game. So Rudolph's is asking, do you think Michael Porter Jr. will have big impact in terms of Jokic's fantasy points? If anything, it's I don't see it really changing that much. I know we expect more points. Like, Michael Porter Jr. is a scorer, but on those games where Michael Porter Jr. scores, it's just going to lead to more Jokic assists probably. And then Jokic is a fantastic offensive rebounder. If Michael Porter Jr. is shooting more, that's going to give him more rebounds opportunities. So you might see the points kind of fluctuate a little bit here, but I don't think, Jokic is going to be fine with no matter what's going on. I think it's going to be a mutual, relationship for him. Whether it's basically the points, rebounds, assists, he's going to get his either way. It just depends on if it's a hot shooting night for Michael Porter Jr. So we're doing start, bench, cut. Gary Harris, Tim Hardaway, and Justin Holiday. I want to look up Hardaway real quick. He's been actually playing some good ball lately too. He's been getting a ton of minutes. So 34, 37, 31, 38, 34 minutes. He's been playing a lot of minutes, scoring at a high clip here. He's not going to, boom in any of the other categories. He's purely a scoring option. So I do like Tim Hardaway quite a bit here. I just want to see real quick what's going on with Finney Smith, because Finney Smith played last night, 24 minutes. This might hurt a little bit of the rotation for minutes there. I know they're kind of similar body styles. Gary Harris, I think you can find guys that are very similar to Gary Harris off the waiver wire. So I like that he plays a lot, but I don't love the numbers for fantasy. I wish he could get a little bit more for as many minutes as he's getting. So I'm probably going to let let's take a look quick at Justin Holiday though. So Holiday, he's probably one of the more consistent guys with minutes as well, and his scoring has been kind of hot and cold. But I like that he's a rebounding shooting guard, small forward. Not as many as assists as you think he would get, but steals and blocks are there. So how do we evaluate this? I think I'm going to start Tim Hardaway for now. He's got the higher ceiling, I think, with his scoring. We're going to keep Justin Holiday on the bench, and we'll let Gary Harris walk himself to free agency, and then replace Tim Hardaway with Jay Crowder. Interesting. Let me see what Jay's doing. So Jay's almost 30% owned. He's averaging 22 points. I think I'm gonna keep it the same. We're gonna say we're just gonna swap out Hardaway with Jay Crowder. So we'll start Jay Crowder for now. I know his floors are kind of low, but I do value, if you can get him in for 30 some fantasy points, you're gonna like that. He also plays quite a bit here too. He's a veteran. I kind of trust him a little bit more. So I'm gonna start Jay. We'll keep Holiday on the bench, and we're gonna let Gary Harris walk. So we're going on about 52 minutes. I don't know if you guys do you guys know what Top Shot is yet? I've been looking into some of these electronic digital cards that we got going on here. It sounds like they're dropping another pack tonight, but I'll kind of show off some more Top Shot stuff in the future. But just watching this to see if they drop another pack. They do have a pack coming, I think, tonight, and the release. This is a base set, so there's going to be a good handful of new cards. There's a little Braun Dunk in here somewhere. It's a 3. So if you guys are new to Top Shot, definitely go check out NBA Top Shot. I have some cards in here, but haven't been able to buy a pack for a while yet. So let's see here. Start, bench, cut. I think that's Gary Trent. Let's see what Gary Trent's been doing. Trent's been hot and cold, man. He's tough to trust. You see almost every other game he's going to have a good game. So I like the talent, but the minutes are just inconsistent, and we know CJ McCollum's coming back. So Gary Trent's more of a guy that you pick up for a game or two just to steal an extra game for the week. Same can be kind of said with George Hill here too. George Hill misses games every now and then. He's actually been pretty consistent lately, but not as consistent as a scorer, and the numbers aren't very exciting. But I think I'm going to give me George Hill over Trent for sure right now. And then let's see what Anfernee Simons has. Simons, my bad. So this is kind of exciting. He's getting more minutes the last couple games. So this might be a guy to keep an eye on here for Portland. I think I would rather have – I might take Simons over Gary Trent. So for me, I'm going to say we're going to start George Hill for now, just because he's reliable. We know it's not going to be a complete, waste. He's not going to, get 8 minutes or something like that. So I'm going to say start George Hill, but let's hold on to Simons. I think he might be kind of fun down the line. But either way, with Trent and Simons, we know McCollum's back at some point within the next, 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll see what happens there. So let's see here. So we might have done a Gordon Hayward and LaMelo for Booker and Karis LeVert trade. I made it before the health problems of LeVert. What I want to know is, what do you think of this trade, and most importantly, Booker? So Booker is one of those buy low candidates. I'm actually going to pull up my friend Drake's his buy low list and see what was all on here. So some of the names on his list were Jamal Murray, Karl Anthony Towns, Pascal, Siakam, Looks like D'Angelo Russell, Russell Westbrook, James Harden's on the list, Rui Hachimura, Jeremy Lamb, DeMarcus Cousins, and Tobias Harris. So that's his buy low list. For my list, I definitely had Booker on there. I had Donovan Mitchell, and I guess Andre Drummond might be a buy low too. So with Booker, let me just first pull up. So Gordon Hayward. Let's take a look here. He's kind of inconsistent too. Like he has the ability to put up some massive numbers, but he also has some ability to kind of hang underneath 25 points. So he's obviously, I think, the best player of the deal right now. But you're swapping him out for Devin Booker. I think these are the best two players of the deal. Looks like he's out with a hamstring, so that's not exactly awesome, but he's not playing like we expected him to. I think we're still trying to see what happens with him and Chris Paul, but I like what I've been kind of seeing lately. He's been hitting some of these 40 numbers. I think his average points per game should go up. So I kind of do like Booker and Hayward as equal values, and it's a shame because with LeVert was going to be a beast. It's a shame what happened with him. I hope he's going to be okay and we can see him back soon. He had a successful surgery to treat a small mass on his left kidney. I'm trying to see here, 6 to 8 weeks before he's ready to play. So this was on the 20th. So this just happened this week. So he might not be ready until the end of March. So hopefully, Rudolph, hopefully you have an IR spot where you can kind of cash him in there for a little bit. But yeah, when he plays, like we saw what he did when Kevin Durant was out, he was a massive performer. So I think if you look at this in a vacuum before this happened and before the trade and everything, you're probably feeling pretty good about this. LaMelo had some bright moments to start the year, but all of a sudden now he's kind of cooling off. He's not as consistent. Again, I'm not a big guy. I'm not excited about rookies for fantasy basketball this year. So he's probably if you could sell him, I think I totally would. He's not playing at the clip that he was earlier this year. So I think if you look at this before the LeVert news, it's probably a win for you. And I do think Booker is going to slowly keep rising when he gets back with the hamstring. So buy lows and Mitchell. Yep. And yeah, that's kind of this, like, I don't search actively for trades. I'll kind of poke around and look around, but most of the leagues that I play in, I'm just looking on the waiver wire. I'll just filter, I'm going to filter by available here and see who's available. I like to filter by the last 7 days. That kind of gives me an accurate, see who's been playing the best lately. So again, Jared Vanderbilt, this is going to be the first guy that I click on. I know Karl Anthony Towns is out, so this is a guy that I could probably cash in for another week or so. Another guy to keep an eye on here is Taurean Prince. He's been putting up numbers with Cleveland here. I really like this. So this is essentially where like you can replace Karis LeVert with a guy like Taurean Prince right now, right off the waiver wire there, Rudolph's. He's getting some fantastic numbers the last 5 games here. I love the minutes. He's on a young team with Cleveland. They're going to keep giving him the ball, and he's just filling out all the stats. I really like this. So Taurean Prince, definitely worth a look for you with that Karis LeVert news. And looks like you got him in IR. And you got Cantor. Nice. Okay, yeah. So that was a really good move there too. So you got Enes Cantor. I'm trying to think of anybody else here. So that's kind of the best way that I like to do it. Now, I noticed something last night because I was kind of big into Bismack Biyombo for a little bit, but Cody Zeller went off last night, and he's been playing good since his return. He had a season-high 30 minutes, 10 points, 14 boards, 4 assists, and a steal for 36.5 fantasy points. Now, they were slowly ramping him up. It was a really competitive game against Indiana, and all of a sudden, it looks like he's back into the starting fold for Charlotte. I don't think we're going to use Bismack Biyombo anytime soon. So if you guys need center help, he's only 7% owned. This is a guy that I'm definitely keeping my eye on. I might even pick him up if you can afford to get him. I think you're getting a starting center for the Charlotte Hornets right now. So it's not a sexy pickup, but man, if he's going to keep putting up, flirting with double doubles. He almost had a double double in 18 minutes against Orlando. You see 11 and 7. So definitely take a peek at our guy Cody Zeller here. So we're going on just about 59 minutes. I'm probably going to sign off from here. I got room for one more question. If you guys got one more question, we can knock those out. But otherwise, I'm going to get out of here for the evening. I just want to thank everyone in the chat room for hanging out with me tonight on this Thursday night. We got some new subscribers tonight, so that was cool. Thank you, Rudolphs. Thank you, Sam from earlier. Thank you, Aiden. Thank you, Hui Kong. Thank you, Dalton. Thank you, Oscar. Thanks, Justin. Thank you, Aiden, again, because Aiden's always in here. Aiden's a good guy here, a friend of the show. But I think I got everybody here that I was. Calvin, we missed Calvin. I'm trying to think anybody else that I missed or forgot to shout out. I think that's good. But yeah, I'm super excited about being able to do this show with you guys. So what's going on, Speed Hydra? Do you think Zeller is better than Robin Lopez? Give me Zeller. What's funny is like I picked up Robin Lopez in one of my leagues. I'm starting him this week, and he's playing fine. Like, just as the worst guy in my team, I'll take this 19, this 20, this 21. I mean, that's over 60 points so far through 3 games. But I think I like Zeller's long-lasting ability here. He's going to probably be a little bit more consistent too. But Lopez is good. Lopez is playing fine. But I think I might swap them out for Cody Zeller here. And I guess as the Wizards get healthier with COVID, I know Moritz Wagner's still out. Rui Hachimura is coming back. So they've been kind of leaning on Lopez just out of necessity here. Whereas with Zeller, I think Zeller is just going to kind of keep settling into where he's going. So give me Zeller over the Caveman Lopez there. Yeah, man, I love this comment. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Rudolphs. Thursday nights is kind of the night where I just do solo podcasts. I strictly just answer questions from the chat room. On Monday nights, I'll put out a waiver wire, like a 15 to 20 minute video for the waiver wire. And then again, Tuesday nights, we go live with good friends John and Drake. We'll just kind of shoot the shit and just answer questions from the chat room. But I don't know. I'm going to get out of here for tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you guys on another video. Thanks. Peace.